everybody? Welcome to the Spectrum Podcast. It's your girl TG, my boy James. Hey, how you doing, James?
What's going on? We good. We good. We chilling today. It's a chill day.
So guys, don't worry. I told you guys we were gonna make a video about the Seahawks and the Titans game, but also talking about the Ohio State captains plus the Block O recipient. And we're gonna talk all about it here, along with any other news that might have came out. And there has been some news about Ohio State actually that has come out more than just the captains and stuff. So we're gonna talk about it. So first, we're gonna talk about the captains. James, give me your thoughts. The captains are Brandon Inniss, Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, Austin Saraville, Kenyatta Jackson, Jalen McClain, and Peyton Pierce. 7 captains total. What do you think of those captains?
Some of them are no-brainers. I think some of them are no-brainers. Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, those are no-brainers. As guys like the wide receiver core, line. They're not. Some have shown that they can be captains from last year. Ryan Day is also a coach that believes in opportunity. Also, he believes in making sure you put the right guys that can be effective. So I think those guys show leadership, but I think any Ohio State captain would show leadership. I think that's the best. I think the most valuable thing is he picked guys that he knows are going to have to be on their P's and Q's this season. I like the captains. I don't dislike them. I think from the team that they have set up, those seem like the guys that step out, the spotlight guys that can handle the big conversations and get them guys back centered. So I don't have a problem with them. I think those are good captains for them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I said it. I wasn't surprised. Brandon Inniss and Austin Saraville were captains last year, and then they're captains again this year. Peyton Pierce actually got the most votes for captain.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, for a lot of people, would be surprising, but I'm not, because given his personality, it's not hard to see why. Like, he does have that genuine leadership to him, where he has that, where players absolutely will want to follow him all the way to the ends of the earth. And we already know with Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin, of course, like, they were growing in that last year. Like Jeremiah Smith was growing more to a leadership role, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's grown very well into that. And Julian Sayin had to grow into it from last year, because last year was his first time. This year, it seems like he's fully grown into his leadership position. So I think that this was great. If anything, the players also gave their players the players also called their parents along with their coaches to tell them the great news, and their parents were happy as heck to tell them, and they were happy as well because of the honor it was to be a captain at Ohio State. It always has been.
I think the leadership and responsibility of Ohio State playing for that team, it comes with, first, it's a great nod to you as a player, but also as a person. I think that when Ryan Day looks at captains, he doesn't look at what you do on the football field. He also looks at, like, do guys come to you just to talk to you about things that don't pertain to football, just like any type of conversation. So he looks at all those things. If we talk about the character and what Ohio State does best, these guys fit that core. You know, we saw Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith last year as football players. But it was certain things that stepped out to me. Julian Sayin was, I think, spoke about the team greatly during the media. Even when it came to them losing, he always kept a high head. He was very composed. They don't teach you media training. They don't teach you how to deal with the sometimes stupid but hard questions. And I think that he handled that well, being that this is his first year. I think they both grew into roles at Ohio State, and I think they also grew as people. And you can connect all of that to them being captains. The way this team is set up, you want to run through a wall for each of these guys. That's just the way that they're perceived. So I like this class. I like the captains because of the fact they're smart, composed, they're leaders, but they also show it on the football field. So they lead by example. first, and then they back up when they need to.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's actually one of the things that make them such a great leaders. But also, they're the ones in charge of protecting the culture, as Ryan Day would say, and it was the same thing Urban would say about his captains. Now, was it a problem is sometimes he had too many captains. Like one time he had 13 captains. I'm like, dude, you do not need this many. But that's also the captain's job. Is your
Yeah.
job is to protect this culture and to pass it on to the next generation of
Yeah.
players that come after you. And as Ryan Day see it, you always want to leave a legacy bigger than how you found it the first time. So if you do that, I can tell you straight up that it would be an honor for them in that sense. And again, Jeremiah Smith, he was crying because he finally got that. Such an honor it was to
Yeah.
get that.
And
But it's big. Let's be real. All of them is big.
it is. And then for any college, when you get to be nodded as a captain, as somebody that can lead the helm and lead your team, it's special. Now we all know how special Jeremiah Smith is, and some could say this is either the last season or the season before the last season where he's going to the NFL. But they look at that. They look at, can you be a leader? Can you be somebody that can come in and make a spark, but also can they trust you? We look at guys now. I think we talk about Fernando Mendoza so much, but he was a captain because of how he saw the culture of Indiana and made it into what he wanted to make it. Now, it still has to be seen, can he do that in Las Vegas? But the fact of the matter is that he did show those intangibles. Now, can Jeremiah Smith, can Julian Sayin, can these guys do the same thing? Of course. No
Hmm.
doubt about it. That's why they're in the position that they're in. But they are nods. They're special. I think to be the captain of anybody's teams, anybody's football or basketball team, that is big. That is a step in the right direction. First, to seeing that you're a leader and that we trust you. We trust what you think. We trust your ability. We trust what you see. And we want people to hear you. That's special, all in itself.
Oh yeah, not only is it, but think about it like this. It's what's more honorable to being a captain. Receiving the block O. And
Mm.
one of the captains received the block O. And that one captain being Brandon Innes.
Yeah.
Because of his leadership on the football field, his hard work, his willingness to put in the work on a regular basis. And I gotta admit that he deserves it because of how great of a person he's been.
Yeah.
I mean, people, like let's be real about something. He's always been an amazing man, Brandon Innes has been, and he deserves this. I know a lot of people have been ragging him on social media, which I will never understand why. I would never understand why people keep ragging him. Um, but if we're being honest, he's a great receiver who last year couldn't really do anything because of how the offense was set up. I mean, people, I go back and look at that offense. He was he was honestly not really involved as much, and when he was involved, he literally had to have Julian saying look his way. Like what I mean by this is people go back and look at the film. Look at how many times Brandon Ennis was wide open. How many times did Julian Saint throw the ball when he was wide open? Because I can only count on a handful how many times he threw to him, and it wasn't a lot. So I think that this is great for Brandon Ennis, and I hope that this year he gets the recognition that he deserves. I hope that, actually, I believe for a fact that Arthur Smith has fixed this offense and has made it more basic, as we talked about, because, again, he knows what he's doing. So I hope Brandon Ennis gets the recognition that he deserves, and hopefully he gets a breakout year like he deserved. But I thought he would have had it last year, but given how the offense was, nah, he didn't get it. So I hope he gets it this year.
I think he should. I think that this offense has changed in a matter of a year in a big way. And I think that their focus was definitely line placement, of definitely getting Julian Saint comfortable making some of the roles that he can make when he was in high school. But now I think they fit. Everything fits where it's supposed to. And I think that's what's gonna make Ohio State special this year. Because a lot of I'm ready for this season because we're going to see a lot of teams that are going to be definite shockers of what we didn't know and what we didn't expect, right where we thought they were going to be. Ohio State is
Hmm.
exactly where we think they're going to be. Now, the way that they're set up, the way that their guys are coming in, and a lot of them, and if you look at this captain's team, it's kind of mixed. It's some seniors. I think fifth year in Kenyatta Jackson, some juniors. It's not just like it's mixed in with different guys of different statures that have been at least playing this game for a while that can
Yep.
build in this role. So I'm excited. I want to see how the defensive captains, how they step up. I know, because Ohio State prides themselves a lot on that. So I want to see how McLean can handle the secondary. I want to see how a guy like Peyton Pierce and Keanu Jackson can handle the line and handling, keeping those guys in order. So I want to see how that all works out because they're
Yeah.
gonna they're the first to see. They're the first to see. Hey, he's moving here. He's snapping this way. Like, and if a guy isn't there, you got to be able to redirect. Say, hey, man, forget about it. Don't even worry about it. Get back. Let's figure this out. But let's catch what we've been catching. We know what they're gonna be set up in. So I think that's another thing that I want to see how everybody kind of builds in those roles.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, that is my biggest thing about the defense is I do want to see that. Now I do believe they will be able to do that.
Yeah.
Um, and more importantly, than that, I actually do believe that that when it comes down to it, I think that like Jalen McClain is somebody that Ryan Day trusted to go to the media days for the Big Ten. And
Yeah.
I say this, and I'm gonna say it again: Ryan Day would not choose you if he did not believe in you. If he didn't believe you would help this program, he would not choose you, in a sense. So I think it was always foregone that he was going to be a captain in some sort, like help lead this team. Because from what I understood, he always took a step up in leadership, uh, especially since Caleb Downs is no longer there. So
Yeah.
I honestly do think that he would be a great leader uh, for for the Buckeyes on defense, and especially when it comes to Kenyatta Jackson. I think he'll be a great leader too. Now, I will say this: I think he would be because he is on the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be a little harder to see the action
Yeah.
just because of the fact of what you're. So I think it's mostly going to be Peyton Pierce and it's going to be mostly Peyton Pierce and what's his name, Jalen McClain
Yeah.
leading the team as far as like what to see. But what Kenyatta will be doing is basically help getting this team in order to
Yeah.
make sure that they're always in the right positions when they need to be.
Yeah.
In their own right. So I got to give that to him, especially when it comes to the defensive line. Like he's going to make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be, while the other two read the offense, tell everybody what they're going to do, and then make it known to them exactly what they're going to do. And once they're in their right positions, they can pretty much just start, moving at that point. So,
I agree.
yeah, and not only that, but I've also heard inklings that the freshmen might be playing because of how impressive they've been, such as Chris Henry Jr., Brock Boyd, the two receivers. Should be surprised to anybody that the two wide receivers coming in as freshmen are the ones standing out.
Yeah.
So is Jarquez. So is the third receiver from the class they sent, and I already almost forgotten his name but Jaquel Guilford, if I'm not mistaken, he's been showing, but I don't think he'll get immediate playing time like those two. I think
Yeah.
he's still got some more learning curve to get behind, but he's a really good player and he might get some playing time in his own right. Same with Phillip Bell and Desi Jones, two dudes we don't talk about who are sophomores. I think now going into their junior years, or is this their freshman year? No, this is their freshman. This would be their redshirt sophomore year. Because they redshirted the previous year. So yeah, no, they would be redshirt sophomores, and this will be their second year in the program, and they will be playing. There's a chance they could get some playing time as well. So it's good to hear that about Ohio State. Now, the other thing that has come out about Ohio State is an article that was written about them. An article about how Ohio State is being held as one of is as one of college football's most united and loyal programs, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody if you pay attention to Ohio State.
No.
If anything, according to this with this article, and it's starting to take precedent among other college programs today, the Buckeyes are currently being widely celebrated as one of the most remarkably united and deeply loyal athletic programs in the modern college football era. This massive, unprecedented national region is quickly turning heads across the entire country while fundamentally reshaping how rival universities actively evaluate their own internal athletic locker room cultures. AKA Texas, AKA Scum, AKA Bama, AKA a lot of other places that y'all got some where a lot of your cultural issues really come from you, Tennessee, where your cultural issues really come from how much you paying these players.
Yeah.
It's just a reality. Like, Ohio State makes it very clear to these people, you will not get paid unless you show what you do on the football field. And even here, if you want more NIL, you have other NIL opportunities to get more. But you have to show that you're worth that because these businesses don't play. And Ohio State does make that clear to a lot of these kids. Unlike Tennessee, Michigan, LSU.
I was going to say Michigan up there, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't surprise me. Like,
It don't.
it doesn't surprise me. The way Ohio State has been for years. Because here's what I'm going to tell you guys. And you guys are going to know this. You guys are really, this is going to surprise you too. Because when we met, I told you I was a Michigan fan.
You are Michigan and Ohio State fan is what you told me. You love both programs. And I'm like.
But in the beginning, I was an Ohio State fan to the end. All right. Now, you learned a couple stuff. I've transitioned, but I've always come back to the Ohio State world. But the one thing that I've always loved about Ohio State is the fact it was never we do it for the money, we do it for the locker rooms, we do it for the athletic. It was always we do it for the kids that we have that want to play here. And when you want to play here, we're going to do the best we can for you, and we're going to give you the best that we have from our coach's standpoint. But it was never a money thing. Now, we knew Michigan had to make some money moves from the stuff that they've had to go through. We knew teams like Alabama had to make some money moves from the stuff from Nick Saban leaving and guys having to really kind of buy into this new system without Nick Saban.
And you know what's funny? They still ain't got a lot of, they still don't have a lot of, stuff to actually compete with some of these other teams. They still don't have that, which is what's funny.
And I think that plays into the fact that this is a coach. I mean, I just saw a video the other day, and one was like, "So what would you do with the $50 million from the lottery?" She said, "I would use it to pay this coach off so he can go." I said, "Hey, I think the coach in Alabama is a little rocky, but Ohio State has always stayed the course of what they believe in, and we get on, and I think a lot of people get on Ohio State because like, oh, you lost this guy, you lost this guy, you lost this guy. If Ryan Day doesn't want you, that's not a jab at Ryan Day. That's probably a jab at you.
Not to mention that the class that transferred, and if you've heard it from me here on the spectrum, you've also heard it from Sean, Eric, Chris, and all the others on the OHIO podcast. They transferred because they got themselves into some trouble where it could have gotten Ohio State in trouble. So they got involved in some stuff they pretty much shouldn't have got in, which would have got Ohio State in trouble, would have got Ohio State into a Jim Tressel-like situation. So, with Tattoo Gate. So, no, those guys had to leave because otherwise they were going to get punished like crazy. Because Ohio State was not about it. They weren't. And they're not about you doing that.
And that shows where they are as a unit of culture. I think even when Ryan Day first got there, the idea was like, so what kind of culture are you going to be? And I think Ryan Day's type of coach was like, hey, just watch and see. Just watch and see what happens. I'm not going to tell you. I can't show you. I can't try to predict for you. But you can see what we're going to be doing here. I mean, a guy, and it's so interesting. Dan Campbell reminds me of that because of the way he's kind of this intense, but also, hey, we're going to give you the best that we got. And we're going to keep doing it, and we're going to keep getting better, and we're going to take some kneecaps off at the end of the day. but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep moving and keep getting. We're gonna keep breaking a ceiling and getting higher. And that's exactly what I feel Ryan Day does. He tries to break this ceiling of where you see guys and where I see guys. Because I think he always has this perception of what we can be better at. I think Ohio State has always been a cultural school, especially with their football program, where they pride themselves on being better. And we
Yeah.
saw it with guys that have graduated, guys that have been alumni. Caleb Downs doing his thing in Dallas right now, and a lot of Justin Fields kind of starting to get himself going in Kansas. CJ getting himself going in Houston. But all of the Marvin Harrison is going to be. He's definitely going to get himself going in Arizona. Not too far. Garrett Wilson, of course, needs to get out of
Chris
here.
Olave,
Yeah.
JSN just won the freaking Super Bowl.
JSN just won. So you see what they bring to the table, but also if you ask a lot of them, they'll say, "Oh, it started Ohio State." Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
Ryan,
always credit. As a
yeah,
matter of fact, it says it right here in the article. Head coach Ryan Day meticulously cultivated an incredible environment by constantly prioritizing genuine human connection and absolute mutual trust
yeah,
over simply accumulating raw physical talent during the recruiting process. The deeply rooted cultural foundation, perfectly established in Columbus, fundamentally requires every single rostered player to completely abandon their selfish individual egos for the mutual benefit of the team. As a matter of fact, the veteran and team leaders continuously demonstrate absolute unwavering commitment, and also to their younger teammates by willing to share the crucial tactical knowledge, providing intense emotional support during exhausting summer practice sessions. One example of this is um, one example of this is what happened with Brandon Ennis. How much he supported him and the entire Ohio State team. Supported Carnell Tate, the same wide receiver over at Tennessee who got drafted. His mom was killed in Chicago in an accident that had happened. Or not even an accident. I think it was a shooting that occurred. And his mother was killed. And he was going through a lot. And what happened was the players, the coaches, and everybody all came around Carnell and told him, man, we got you. We got your back. You ain't alone in this, man. We got you. Like, that's one way to show it. That one little incident showed the culture of Ohio State. Like, these people don't care about your raw talent. It's like they care about you genuinely as a human being.
yeah. Because we go through so much, and so much happens, and it can be a lot. It can be so much, but when you step out and you make yourself known and you do the things that you're supposed to do, it's no doubt about it. You're gonna exceed in so many different ways, and I think we lose this aspect. And this is just from a sports world. I think we keep losing the aspect that these guys are also human beings. Not basketball to them is it can't be everything. It can't be the end all be all for some of these guys. Football can't be the end all be all. I do go through things. And when we react in certain ways, they're like, oh, well, that's not how a player's supposed to react. He's supposed to be more professional. You don't know what I go through. You don't
Right.
know that life can hit me sometimes, and maybe I don't want to play football today. Maybe I don't want to go against this team today. But if you have a culture where it's like, hey, man, I know you ain't feeling well. I know it's not going. I know you're going through a lot, but you can talk to me at any point in time, and we can be here for you. If you want to send this one out, you can send this one out. I'm cool with it.
Mm.
That's the way Ryan Day works, where you're gonna be like, nah, coach, I want to play. I want to play, coach, because I trust you. Because you give me that fire and emotion to get back into to getting back to what I want to do, and it's that what makes coaches special, what makes a culture, what makes a team special. We look at certain teams and we say, what made you guys good? And it was like we never saw each other for what we were. We all saw each other for being equals. He didn't think because he was going to the league he was better than us. He didn't think because he was making this much money he was better than us. We just all worked together. It never was about where we were going or where we came from. It was always like this is where we are right now, and we want to be better. And we had each other's backs. That was our thing.
Yep. As a matter of fact, when you go back and look at it too, like here, as it says here in the article, that given the unprecedented things have been happening with, like, you know how we just talked about it with players transferring and everything, like, I mean, one example of like how bad the culture might be, I just brought it up, was Texas, because I've been hearing a bunch of news that has been popping up on timelines on X about stuff that's been going down over there, such as their offense being bad, turning the ball over 4 times in practices, how their linebacker got suspended for behavior that wasn't exactly professional, which we don't know what went on, why he's acting this way, but also a parent, these helicopter parents that are in Texas, and again, this is what you get for spending money on these people. They talking about they're threatening to expose everything that's been going down in this program. And it's like, you know, one or two things is always the case. You know, this could be fake, which it's not, because from the sound of it, it's all this hitting the timeline all at once. It all sound fake. Or two, your culture must be that bad, where you got all this nonsense happening. Whereas when you're talking about Ohio State and how this article writes about Ohio State, is basically like, these players don't do things for themselves. They do things for the team. And even when they leave and go to the NFL, they're still thinking about Ohio State. They still put Ohio State first.
You hear that? LSU, number 5. Sorry.
Yep.
Just had to say it.
Yeah, no, that's factual. Jaden Daniels. Like, to call it out like I see it. Jaden Daniels.
I mean, come on, bro. Like, you gotta see yourself as a guy that you. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Your story is powerful, bro. You started up at Arizona and they didn't want you there, and when you finally got that transported, they treated you like you was nothing, bro. I get it. And LSU took you in and you made yourself known there, but bro, like, that's your job. Like, the guys that come in after you, they want to feel the same way you felt, bro. Like, they want to get the same love. And Lane Kifflin and these guys, they want to show that same love. Like, they need you to support. Like, they need you to be an alumni first and an NFL player second. You know what I'm saying? So, when you have a culture like that at Ohio State, and yeah, Texas, it's a lot of people throwing money at y'all, man. It's been like that for years. That's the crazy part.
That's the Miami same way.
Yeah.
And like I said, currently, you already know that the culture in Michigan's been bad. Hopefully, Kyle Whittingham can fix it.
You know, guys, I pray for Kyle Whittingham. You know, it's not his fault. I only say that because he has to come in and change so many people's perspectives on how they see Michigan compared to how it's supposed to be seen. And I think in this case of Texas, you have to change the perspective of how people are supposed to see you. People see you as this number one built team, and you still haven't shown that that's who you guys can be. Compared to other teams that are told, oh, y'all are B+, and they're really A+. So y'all got to match what they're matching. And I think that comes just off coaching, the ability, but these guys have to be taught. You know, college is where you teach. College is where you prepare them for the next level. So you got to make it, you know. It's cool when you got Matthew McConaughey coming around putting up the Longhorn sign with his cowboy hat on, and we show him on the little Jumbotron, but we getting blown out by 30. Like, come on, bro. That's not how we supposed to play this game. That's not how we supposed to see this.
Yeah, and guys, I'll put the link of this article in the description box so you guys can go and read it. But basically, this whole article talks about how the entire country has taken notice of how Ohio State has become such a loyal program through all the stuff that's been going on in NIL. So I mean, it shouldn't be surprising to anybody. It's like, people, that's who Ohio State is.
Yeah,
it's who they are. They are what they are, and it shouldn't be surprising to anybody. Now we can now start getting into the but I will say this too, for other programs, you want to have success, like long-term success, like Ohio State. How about look at what they're doing with their program and their culture and try to follow that, because this is why they stay dominant for well over 100 years.
I,
Like seriously, the most consistent, dominant program of the modern era. Never had a down period. Only had 2 losing seasons. I think at the utmost, like they only had one losing season in my lifetime, two in Sean's time. And as far as I'm concerned, I think they've only had 2 losing seasons with 5 average seasons where they lost over 2 games.
yeah,
So
okay.
like it's a rarity that you see Ohio State be that bad. It really is. Like it's a rarity. So if you guys want to get there, you might want to start being more like them. But speaking of such, we can actually start talking about some people from the NFL, a former Buckeye in and of his own right. Actually, two former Buckeyes, really, in the
Yeah,
Seattle Seahawks versus the Tennessee Titans. And there will be a preseason game, obviously, this upcoming Thursday. But
yeah.
there is the Seahawks versus the Titans. So I do want you to give me your opinion on this game. How did you feel about this game?
I think Cam Ward played better than I've seen him play this entire preseason. Now, I'm not trying to say that Cam Ward was playing bad, but 8 of 12, 69 yards. Now, he was sacked, but I think that is definitely better than what we've been seeing from him over the past couple of games. Uh, this was another game. I think Carnette only had 2 targets with 0 yards and zero rushing. Zero, he didn't catch nothing, but that's okay. He didn't drop nothing either. So I think that's a win-win for whoever. I think that's a win-win. Tennessee didn't win this game, which was good. I think it was an overall. From Seattle, I saw a lot of good things. Seattle has had to kind of revamp since winning Super Bowl this season. Um, the first thing you do is you sign, I think, one of the top best wide receivers, in Ohio State Buckeye, to a very long, vigorous contract that he very well deserves. So to keep him under wraps. But you lost a lot of defensive guys. I think the defense did play pretty good. Um, I think the defense did play pretty well. When it came to the offense, it
Oh
was,
wait a minute, Hendon Hooker got traded to this team.
I believe so.
Because I'm seeing his name right here. I had no idea. I thought he was still with the Lions.
Yeah, you gotta get the team together.
Yeah, like that's just that just threw me off. I'm like, I see his name and I'm like, when you the backup to Jared Goff? That just not go well.
No, I think they're really trying to figure out what they're gonna do with that team. Because Detroit is still a little of a question mark for me.
It's very much. But I'm not gonna lie too. With the Seahawks, I mean, you just want to see what the running game. The only thing I want to know is how their run game is gonna look now that
Luke,
uh yeah now that
Kenneth Walker.
their Kenneth Walker is gone. It's like how is your running game gonna look? Now they do got this running back named Jakar Wright who
Yeah,
looked very stinking good. I mean, eight carries for 81 yards with his longest being 69. That is really good.
and he can be really good for them. I mean, I don't think I think you're gonna get anybody to replace how Kenneth Walker was, but I think Sam Darnold needs somebody that he can just rely on when it's time for him to make those differences of going from pass to run. Now, Sam Darnold did incredible last season. Do I expect the same this season? No, because the Rams are taking it all. I'm calling it now, guys. Aaron Donald's on the way. Miles Garrett is about to get healthy. Puka Nakua is going to have a crazy. What did Cooper Cup have? A three
Yeah.
triple crown season. Puka
Yeah.
Nakua's having a triple crown season. All right, I'm calling it now. Devontae, Devontae Adams, incredible, impeccable. But I I like this team. I think Tennessee has gotten a lot better than they were last year. I think Cam Ward has gotten a lot comfortable in the pocket and his role as the QB. I think that's going to be a big, big thing for them. Now, when it comes to the running game, Wright is gonna have a long season ahead of him trying to
Mm-hmm.
stay number one. But I think the best thing that made Seattle good last season was how they could keep their offense in games. And I want to see some of them losing so many guys, how that defense steps up this time around. Because it's been a lot of things changing in Seattle. So I want to see how they can can the offense keep going, or is the defense going to be the one that have to still keep them in games? Um,
Yeah, I would say the same thing too. I really do think that when it comes down to this, that the Seattle Seahawks, I think they'll still be a good team. It's just a matter of how will their defense play, how well will their run game play. I think how well will their offensive line play, because I don't know if they lost anyone on their offensive line or not. I can't remember for certainty, but I really want to see that. And I want to see how, like, you got JSN. Will he continue to have the year he had last year? We take a little bit of a step back. I don't think he'll have the numbers he had last year, but I think he will still be as an elite wide receiver as ever. Will
yeah,
Cooper Kupp continue to play as well as he has been? Will Sam Darnold continue to play as well as he has as quarterback? Because remember, this man used to see ghosts. So I do think it is.
he still
I
see
do
those.
think the Seahawks. Yeah, I mean he still does, but not as badly as he did the first time.
No, but he definitely still see them ghosts. Them ghosts are around, and we're gonna see it this season.
Which would be unfortunate. But yeah, no, it's like, or at least can he keep the how much he's been seeing ghosts at a low like he's done all season. So.
Yeah, Sam Darnold has definitely taken a big step around. We saw it in Minnesota um, when he was there. I think Minnesota made a big mistake letting this guy go, but he's shown that he can be an impeccable quarterback. But now we're gonna see, can it all be done right now? Cooper Cup has to keep it up. Rashid Shaheed has to keep it up. Jackson Smith, like these guys have to keep doing what they were doing, but now it makes it harder because now the defense has a lot to pick up from because either you're gonna go from where you were or you take a step back. You know, they're not the Legion of Boom, but
Right.
they were an impeccable defense that helped them make Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Now, do I want to see Super Bowl rematch of the Seahawks and Patriots? Gosh, no. I do not want to see that again.
Honestly, I do want to see if the Patriots ever get better. If they ever get better, I would
Yes,
like to see it,
yes.
but
I
it's only that.
I would definitely be there for the first game of the season for the New England Patriots because I want to see if did the offense improve? Did Drake May improve? Did Will
Yeah.
Campbell improve? You know, because a lot of veteran left tackles were calling them during the offseason and say, hey, bro, work out with me, work out with me, work out with me. Did you take some of those workouts? Did you learn some stuff? Hopefully you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. So yeah, no, but I'm not gonna lie. I am interested to see how these guys do play come the regular season. Now, obviously, we still got at least one more week of the preseason, and I think we'll officially start with week one, and
Yes.
we'll definitely be able to tell how these teams look from there on.
Man, guys.
So
The
yeah, so
preseason.
but yeah. But thank you guys for coming on. If you guys by the time you guys watch this video, it'll already be uploaded. This was pre-recorded. I made sure to have this ready right beforehand because you guys should be doing these kind of videos from here on out. You will start seeing more pre-recorded videos. I can tell you that. And it will be on certain times, of course. It won't be all the time. I can tell you that because it's going to be some working in progress regarding my schedule and my work and everything. But I promise you guys, you're going to enjoy watching the show. You're going to hear more and more sports talk of all era. And like I said, you guys are going to see more of this because the college football season and the NFL season is about to start. So you guys might want to tune in because you're going to love it. I promise you. All right. So James, you got any final words?
I can attest to that. We're in for a treat, guys. We are in for a treat this season. I just want to hit y'all with some quick stuff. As you guys already know, Ennis Cantor was denied. He will not be joining the WNBA. That was all the dream.
Thank
All the
God.
dream. And he's also been banned from the Sky Game, so you know,
Thank the Lords.
love,
Thank the
love.
Lords.
Um, but yeah, we're gonna have some interesting stuff, guys. Oh, if you guys are on 2K, if you guys are on 2K27, lock in. I don't know. Have some good games, man. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, no, that's it, guys. That's it. That's it for me.
Yeah, so guys, I'm gonna log off here. I'm gonna put on the intro. I'm gonna put out the outro, and I'm gonna help my family out with some stuff. So I'll catch you guys later. Sped from out.
cracks under my palm. Red so deep it made the room go calm. Ash on the floor, then a pulse, then a bloom. It climbed the wall.